you have this coin, don't spend it, don't trade it, don't even blink, because what looks like a simple penny could be worth more than gold. It's a coin so rare, so valuable, that collectors would pay anything to get their hands on it. And guess what? It might be sitting in your pocket right now. You're watching X-Coins Hub, where small coins reveal big fortunes.
If you have this coin, you might be one of the richest people in the world. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll realize that one tiny coin sitting quietly in your drawer could be worth more than $100,000. Welcome back to Das X-Coins Hub, the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding in your pocket change. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the I-2006 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin. A coin so common that millions of people handled it without ever realizing how valuable it could become. But among those millions, a few special ones are worth a fortune. Let's go back to where it all began, the year 2006. The United States was in the middle of a technological boom, and while the world was focused on the future, the Denver Mint was quietly producing over 4 billion Lincoln cents. Most people never gave these coins a second glance. After all, it was just a penny, small, ordinary, copper-colored. But as with many great stories, the magic is hidden in the details. The kaoli, Lincoln cent, has a legacy that stretches back to 1909, when it was first introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face, a design that broke tradition at the time. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny evolved, but its core image, Lincoln's thoughtful profile, remained untouched, symbolizing integrity, resilience, and hope. Fast forward to 2006. This was the final stretch before major design changes would reshape the coin in 2009 to celebrate Lincoln's 200th birthday. That makes the 2006 D penny part of the FAD's last few classic Lincoln Memorial series. On its obverse, you'll see Lincoln's face facing right, with the word Liberty to his left, and the date 2006, followed by the bold D mint mark, signifying that it was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse side proudly displays the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to the man's enduring legacy and a symbol recognized across generations. But what makes the 2006 D penny special isn't just its design, it's the errors and rarities that occurred during production. The Denver Mint, though known for its precision, wasn't immune to mistakes. When you're producing billions of coins, even the smallest slip can turn a regular penny into a collector's dream. Some of the most prized versions of the 2006 D penny include double die errors, off-center strikes, and all but die cracks. These are coins where the minting process went just slightly wrong, but in the world of coin collecting, that wrong often means big money. For example, a double die obverse shows a faint duplication on the inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust. To the untrained eye, it might just look like a smudge. To a collector, it's a gold mine. Another fascinating variety is the off-center strike, where the design isn't perfectly aligned with the coin's edges. The more off-center it is, while still showing a visible date, the more valuable it becomes. Some of these coins look almost artistic, as if Lincoln himself is fading out of the frame. Then there are die cracks, where small raised lines appear across the surface due to cracks in the minting die. Each of these errors tells its own story, a tiny accident that transformed an ordinary penny into a rare collectible. And then, of course, there's the question of condition. Even without errors, a coin's grade can drastically affect its value. The highest grade you can find, MS 70, Mint State 70, means the coin is in perfect condition, as if it just rolled out of the mint moments ago. The luster, color, and strike must all be flawless. Achieving that grade is extremely rare, especially for coins that have circulated. Collectors also look at toning, the natural color changes that happen over time due to chemical reactions with the environment. A 2006 D penny with a unique rainbow tone or a brilliant red luster can fetch impressive prices simply because it stands out visually. But what truly sets apart the legendary the 6D penny worth a fortune is a combination of these traits: a nearly perfect condition, unique minting error, and historical timing. Imagine finding a small copper coin in your jar of change and realizing it's one of the cleanest, most well-preserved pieces ever made. That's the dream every collector chases. It's incredible to think how such a tiny object carries so much history. From Abraham Lincoln's face, a symbol of freedom and equality, to the intricate process at the Denver Mint, every 2006 D penny is a miniature time capsule. It's a bridge between the everyday and the extraordinary, between something you could easily ignore and something worth more than a luxury car, and that's the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about metal and mint marks. It's about stories, history, and the thrill of discovery. Each coin is a mystery waiting to be solved, a connection to the past that you can hold in your hand. So before you toss that penny aside, take a closer look. Check the details. Look for the doubling, the off-center strike, the shine, the luster. Because you might be holding something no one else has, something that could change your life. Now here's the moment you've been waiting for. Among the few 2006 D Lincoln cents that have been authenticated in pristine condition, one remarkable specimen stunned collectors and experts alike. Graded at the highest level, with flawless detail and perfect strike, this coin achieved an unbelievable sale value, that 260 penny. Yes, just a single cent was valued at a staggering $108,000. So next time you're sifting through your spare change, remember that small copper coin could be your ticket to fortune. Keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass ready, and your curiosity alive, because the next rare penny might already be in your pocket. And if you love stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe to X Coins Hub for more hidden treasures and incredible coin discoveries. Who knows? The next video might just reveal the fortune sitting right in your hands. If you have this coin, you could be one of the richest people in the world. That's right. A simple penny from 1990 might be worth more than you ever imagined. Hidden among millions of ordinary coins, a few special ones have become legendary, fetching life-changing prices. So before you dismiss that old jar of change, you might want to take a closer look. Welcome back to X Coins Hub, the place where we uncover the hidden value of the coins you use every day. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1990 Lincoln 1-cent coin. A small copper treasure that holds big secrets and even bigger value. Stay till the end because you won't believe how much one of these tiny coins can be worth. Today, let's rewind to 1990, a year that marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter for the U.S. Mint. The Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for over 80 years, and yet it remained one of the most beloved coins in America. In that year, the Mint struck hundreds of millions of these coins across its facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. On the surface, they looked like any other Lincoln cent, small, shiny, and coppery. But hidden in that massive production run were a few mistakes. And those mistakes turned ordinary pennies into rare collector's gold. The 1990 penny continued the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been in use since 1959. On the obverse, you'll find Lincoln's iconic portrait facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" along the top edge, Liberty to the left, and the date 1990 to the right. Some of these coins carry a HD mint mark tagged for Denver, others a no mint marked for Philadelphia. And then there's the very special one, the 1990 S-proof coin, minted in San Francisco for collectors. Here's where things get interesting. The U.S. Mint made a critical shift in 1990 that led to one of the most famous penny errors ever discovered, the 1990 no S-proof Lincoln cent. This wasn't an ordinary circulation coin. It was supposed to be a special edition proof coin with a mirror-like surface and a small S mint mark under the date, showing it came from the San Francisco Mint. But somehow, a batch was struck without the S mint mark. That small missing letter changed everything. Instead of being just another penny, the 1990 No-S proof coin became an instant sensation. Only a few were ever discovered, and their rarity sent shockwaves through the coin-collecting world. Imagine a single missing letter turning a 1-cent coin into a 5-figure collectible. Even beyond that famous error, the 1990 penny has its share of other fascinating variations. Some coins display minor double-die errors, where parts of the lettering, while like Liberty or In God We Trust, appear slightly doubled. Others show off-center strikes, die cracks, or weak strikes, all caused by small hiccups in the minting process. To collectors, these tiny imperfections are pure perfection, but not all value comes from mistakes. Condition plays a huge role, too. A regular 1990 penny might only be worth 1 cent in worn condition, but in mint state 69 or 70 Aihashi, its value can soar dramatically. The luster, sharpness, and flawless surface can make a coin stand out from millions of others. Collectors pay premium prices for coins that look untouched, as if time forgot them. Another detail that makes the 1990 penny historically special is its composition. By that time, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned from mostly copper to a copper-plated zinc plancher. That change began in 1982 due to rising copper prices. So the 1990 penny, while still shining with that familiar reddish tone, is actually made up of about 97.5% zinc SAO and only 2.5% copper EUR. That gives it a lighter weight, just 2.5 grams, compared to the older solid copper pennies. But even with the new composition, the coin kept its classic look, symbolizing the balance between tradition and modern efficiency. The Ashin Lincoln Memorial. On the reverse side stands tall, a symbol of honor and remembrance. If you look closely with a magnifying glass, you can even spot a tiny image of the statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. It's one of those incredible little details most people never notice, yet it reminds us of the artistry that went into every design. Now let's talk about grading and value. When coin experts evaluate a penny, they consider every tiny detail, from the sharpness of the strike to the reflectivity of the surface. A 1990 penny in MS-70 condition, meaning a perfect mint state, can fetch hundreds or even thousands depending on the mint mark and overall rarity. But when we're talking about the ultra-rare 1990 No-S proof penny, that's when things get truly jaw-dropping. Just imagine, a coin worth 1 cent on paper, but nearly impossible to find. Collectors have scoured coin sets, proof sets, and collections for decades trying to get their hands on one. Only a few lucky people ever have, and for them, that discovery was like striking gold. Think about it. How many people casually opened proof sets in the 1990s, admired the shiny coins, and then put them away, never realizing one of those pennies was missing its mint mark? Years later, collectors discovered those rare coins and couldn't believe their eyes. It's the kind of story that makes coin collecting so thrilling, because treasures aren't always buried underground. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight. And now comes the best part, the one number everyone's waiting for. Among the few existing examples of the 1990 No-S Lincoln proof penny, one was authenticated in pristine condition, flawless strike, mirror-like surface, and perfect preservation. That single penny, a coin most people would overlook, sold for an astonishing 108 Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, worth over $100,000. So before you toss your change aside or ignore that old proof set sitting in your drawer, take another look. You never know what hidden fortune could be staring back at you. Keep your eyes open, your magnifier handy, and your curiosity alive. Because one day that worthless penny might just make you a very wealthy person. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to SatX Coins Hub, where we uncover more hidden gems, rare finds, and incredible coin discoveries. Your next fortune could be just 1 coin away. If you have this coin, you could be one of the richest people in the world. That's right. A small, ordinary-looking penny from 1984 might just turn out to be worth a fortune. Most people see it as pocket change, but for a few lucky collectors, it's been the key to massive wealth. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the 1984 Lincoln 1-cent coin is one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in U.S. history. Welcome back to Boss X Coins Hub, the channel where we uncover the secrets behind the coins you use every day. Some of them are just currency, but a few, like the 1984 penny, are hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. So grab your magnifying glass because this story might just change the way you look at pennies forever. Let's go back to 1984, a year that marked a turning point in the design and production of U.S. coins. The Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents across its 3 facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. On the surface, the coin looked exactly the same as it had since 1959, Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front and the But Lincoln Memorial on the back. But under that familiar coppery glow, something special was happening, and it created one of the most valuable pennies ever struck. The Bata 1984 Lincoln cent in was part of the series honoring America's 16th president. On the obverse, Lincoln's profile faces right with the words, "In God We Trust." Arching above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date, 1984, to the right. Underneath the date, some coins have the small D mint mark for Denver. The reverse side proudly displays the Lincoln Memorial, flanked by the United States of America at the top and had a 1-cent yak at the bottom. Now, here's where the story gets interesting, and where the value skyrockets. In 1984, a few pennies came off the production line with one of the most famous minting mistakes ever recorded: the Pate 1984 double-ear Lincoln cent. At first glance, it looks like any other penny, but when you look closely, especially around Lincoln's ear, you'll notice something unusual. There appears to be a second earlobe sat just below the first one. It's not damage or wear, it's a minting error known as a double die obverse. During the coin's production, the hub, which imprints the design onto the die, shifted slightly between strikes, causing a faint but visible doubling of Lincoln's features, particularly the ear. And because this doubling occurred on the die itself, every coin struck with that die carries the exact same doubling. To collectors, this error is legendary. It's bold enough to see with the naked eye, yet subtle enough that most people have missed it for decades. Some coin experts call it one of the most collectible modern penny errors ever made. Aside from the famous double-ear variety, there are other errors and varieties from 1984 that add value, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, and broad strikes. Each of these occurred when the minting equipment malfunctioned slightly, creating coins that don't look quite right. And for collectors, that's exactly what makes them priceless. Let's talk about what makes these coins even more special: their composition. By 1984, the U.S. Mint had already switched from mostly copper to copper-plated zinc planchets. Each 1984 penny is made of about 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper ore, giving it that familiar reddish shine, but making it much lighter, just 2.5 grams instead of the heavier pre-1982 copper coins. The shift to zinc changed how these coins age too. Many 1984 pennies have spots, corrosion, or discoloration from zinc reacting with air and moisture. That's why finding one in mint condition, with bright red color and no blemishes, is so rare and so valuable. Coin grading plays a huge role in determining worth. The best condition you can hope for is Mint State 70, MS70, a flawless, perfectly struck coin with full original luster. Even finding an MS65 or MS66 1984 double-ear penny can make a huge difference in price. Collectors prize this coin not only for its rarity, but for what it represents: a glimpse into the minting process, a small mistake that turned an ordinary penny into a historical artifact. It reminds us that perfection isn't always valuable. Sometimes imperfection is priceless. And what's truly fascinating is how many of these coins might still be out there. Think about it. Billions of 1984 pennies were produced, and most people never checked for doubling on the ear. That means there could still be thousands sitting unnoticed in drawers, piggy banks, or change jars across America. So before you spend your next penny, look closer. Examine Lincoln's ear carefully. If you see what looks like an extra earlobe, you might just have one of the most sought-after coins in modern U.S. history. Now, let's get to what you've been waiting for. The value. When a 1984 double-ear Lincoln cent is found in average circulated condition, it can sell for up to hundreds of dollars. Buttons. But when one appears in near-perfect, uncirculated, mint state condition, graded by experts and preserved with flawless detail, it can fetch an extraordinary price. And that's exactly what happened with one exceptional example. Perfectly preserved, brilliant in color, and showing the clear double-ear feature. It stunned collectors and experts alike when it hit the market. That 1984 Lincoln penny. Yes, a coin worth just 1 cent on paper reached an incredible value of $8,000. So the next time you empty your pockets or go through your change jar, take a second look. That small, ordinary penny might not be ordinary at all, because sometimes the tiniest coin can hold the biggest secret. And if you love uncovering stories like this, make sure to subscribe to X Coins Hub Hunt for more amazing discoveries, rare coin facts, and hidden treasures that might just be waiting in your hands right now. Who knows? The next fortune could already be sitting in your pocket.